Welcome back, friends and viewers, to the next part of our Demon Souls walkthrough. Just to recap the previous episode, we ended up beating the Tower Knight and got ourselves transported back to the Nexus, and I actually just went ahead and put all of the consumable souls that we had picked up in the previous zones on my hotbar, and I'm just going to go ahead and use them. And then once we have used all of these, I'm going to go ahead and talk to the Maiden in Black. We're going to level up, and then actually I think we're going to move on to the next area. We're going to move on to Zone 2-1, Stonefang Tunnel. We're hopefully going to beat that boss. I'll walk you through, especially the area. I think there's some pretty decent loot that's there, and
thou seekest
we'll
soul
keep
power,
going.
dost thou not? Then
Alright, so now I still haven't figured out what the heck kind of build I want to do. But in the meantime, obviously, we're still just going to keep pumping points into endurance and vitality.
So the world might be mended.
I don't really favor like doing a strength build over like a dex build or any of that kind of stuff. I just want to make sure that, you know,
Art thou done?
we're not kind of pigeonholing ourselves into only one type of play style. So I guess I'll just keep playing through until I guess I find a good weapon that really could be used by, I guess, especially a newcomer, because especially that's the audience that I'm targeting with this playthrough.
Hello again.
But I lied. Let's actually go ahead and see if we can deposit any of our stuff to stockpile Thomas, just so that way we lighten our load just a little bit. Longsword, wing spear. We don't use any of that stuff. Let's get rid of that. We don't use gash resistance. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and talk to this blacksmith and just see. His name is Baldwin, and let's just see if we can repair some of the stuff that we've been using. If you don't repair it, eventually items, they can break, and it'll essentially just reduce their effectiveness, like you see right here. The fluted gauntlets and the leggings, they both come back alive. 4 souls to repair, and I don't have enough, but I'm not really too worried, at least at this point. Tell you what, just because I don't want to mess up here. Similar to what I did, I believe, in the second video, I actually just killed myself in the Nexus to make sure that there's no chance of us dying in a zone in human form, because we don't want the world tendency to go towards black. We're actually just going to go ahead and do that before we actually go to Zone 2-1, the Stonefang Tunnel. So let's go ahead and do that. Never gets old. But I think I only had like maybe like 30 souls, 20 souls, something like that. So I'm not even going to go ahead and pick that up. I don't care about that. But let's go to 2-1, Stonefang Tunnel, and start this part. All right. As soon as you zone in here, keep yourself as light as possible, just because there is going to be there's a crystal lizard up here, and then immediately to the left, so we're gonna actually book it and see if we can catch him. There he is. Oh no! All right, there we go. For some reason, I guess because we're wearing the thief ring, the crystal lizard didn't notice us right away, which is awesome. Otherwise, he will run straight forward, and sometimes he'll run off the edge, which is a real pain in the ass. Even if they die while falling off the edge, you will not get the items. But there you go. We just looted him, the Shard of Sharpstone, so that should be pretty good, like I said, for a dex type of weapon. I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to be using just yet, but I may... I've done a playthrough before. This is a vendor. He sells, I believe he just sells like Shardstone and Sharpstone. Souls. And we will find Filthy Man at another point in this zone. Yep, Hardstone and Sharpstone. So this is just infinite number that you can buy from this guy, at least at this point.
Where do you...
I did a playthrough with a really heavy strength weapon, or at least I don't think it scaled. It actually just needed a lot of strength requirements to actually just wield the dang thing. It was called the Dozer Axe. It was actually it's the weapon of the tutorial boss. And man, that thing hit like a truck, and I think it actually it would send enemies, like normal enemies at least, flying if you hit them with it. But let's quickly run so we don't get hit by those bolts. Oh no! Oh shoot! We're probably gonna get hit. Just block. Just keep your shield up like I did. I only took a little bit of damage. But in here, you're gonna find like a bunch of like I don't know if you want to call them serpent men, but they're covered in scales. I think that they're weak to magic, which is good for us. As you saw, using the Crescent Falchion, we killed that guy in 2 swings. I think most of these enemies are weak to piercing attacks. I don't know about slashing, but I think the magic part of our Crescent Falchion is actually doing the majority of the damage there. I don't think that like a blunt weapon would actually hurt these guys very much, just because they have like their skin is like scaly armor. But we just turned that lever. It's going to allow us to use this lift once we turn the lever to go up top to go after the guys that were throwing those boulders at us. But there's actually going to be one of the top hat generals, and he has like I guess you want to call it like a whip or like some kind of I don't know exactly what type of weapon you would call it. I guess it's like a whip. But he also shoots fire. So as soon as we go in here, he's going to be to our left, and I would just recommend keeping your shield up, because that fire can actually do a lot of like that. It can do a lot of damage to you. You'll see he'll pause, and then he'll like move his left hand back before he shoots that fire attack. So at least you'll know it's coming. But as you see right now, the Crescent Falchion, or any kind of like slashing weapon, I believe can automatically apply bleed to an enemy. And he's just going to take like a little bit of damage over time. I think it's only like 2 per second. But if you upgrade a weapon, a certain upgrade line for... Oh god, I don't even remember the upgrade line, like what it's called. But you just essentially will increase the bleed damage that an enemy will take from your weapon. They'll take more damage over time if you get the bleeding to proc on them. But we just picked up Iron Knuckles from which is it's just a melee weapon. We're not going to use that though. Full Moon Grass. And this item here, not all of the damage. Crushing Battle Axe +1. Crushing is it's an upgrade line, and I believe it is a strength weapon. Like it scales better off strength. And 105 versus 164. So it's just more of a heavy melee weapon. I believe it when you upgrade it with Crushing, it takes away any of the scaling that it might have had with Dexterity. As you see, the stat bonuses in the middle of the screen, it has C for the first one, that's strength. I'm not really going to use it, despite it having some pretty good scaling, at least right now, for strength, because we're not going to focus on that just right now. But if you would end up riding this elevator all the way down, there's actually an item down there that we're going to pick up. It is the Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. That's just the item to reiterate that it's going to allow you to resurrect to human form if you're in soul form, but like I said, we're not going to do that, just at least for this playthrough. I really wish that I would have done this playthrough before the Demon Souls servers had gone offline, just so that way I could have shown some kind of PvP, or I could have shown you the white stone and the blue stone, just how they would be used. But I don't know, especially for a new player, it's probably a good thing that the servers are shut down so you don't get invaded by another player, because sometimes that could ruin a playthrough, especially if you're new, you don't know the area very well, and then all of a sudden you get invaded and killed, and you just have to restart your progress. Especially if you're in human form, and then your world will go towards black tendency, which is not fun. in this area, there's just a bunch of the scale, like the lizard guys. The pots in front of us, they're going to get broken by one of those top hat generals, so we're going to see if we can always stay away from them a little bit. Because I think dogs will actually run out of that area. Good news about these guys, they will drop sometimes some upgrade equipment, but if you find one of them that actually has like a knapsack slung over his shoulder, he's actually carrying upgrade materials. So we're going to prioritize them whenever we see them. It's just a good way that we can get some upgrades. Jeez, that's a lot. Upgrades without having to buy any of that stuff. Oh, oh man, dogs again. Go away. Alright, let's take them out. We'll eat some grass. And there he is. Wow, actually I dodged. I fat rolled away from that. I can't believe I actually made that. Die! Yeah, let's pick up this stuff. Chunk of hard stone, chunk of sharp stone. You're going to need them for when your items, like your weapons, are getting higher upgrades. You're just going to need chunks of them instead of just regular shards. But there should be an enemy that's around this corner with a pickaxe. If you ran around the corner, he'll actually just go ahead and try to strike you. Like that. Not drop anything. Okay. Let's keep moving on. Yeah, as you see, there's one around this corner. Ooh, in that corner. Shard of sharpstone. Okay, we'll take that. Nothing in here. Is there another guy? Nope. Crescent moon grass. Just another healing item. There should be, I think, a pickaxe around here. There it is. You get a pickaxe. I've never used that weapon, but if you guys want to go ahead and give it a shot, let me know how it goes. I guess it would be like a piercing weapon. Now, across the way, there's an enemy over there, one of the top hat generals. You'd have to, this bridge will break, and you'll have to run along either the left or the right side of where you see the support wood, because that actually will not break. But right now, because we have the thief ring on, he can't see us. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna run. It's okay, we did take a little bit of damage, but that's fine. See if we can strafe around and backstab him, kick him down there so he's no longer a threat to us. And then we just got a renowned hero soul. Put our stuff back on. And then we are gonna fall down here. See if I can find him. The camera is not really or just face tank his fire like I did. And then as soon as he starts getting up, we can start attacking him again. Good news about the scaled guys in this area. They're pretty docile, unless you get a little bit too close to them. And there's the enemy. This guy, he actually had the knapsack that we're going to go ahead and loot, and then usually you just have a higher chance of getting some pretty decent upgrade materials. Looks like the guy to our right has one too. So clear stone, not bad. Alright, you will eventually have to fall down here and pull this lever, because it will unlock the area that we need to go to next. And it'll upgrade, or excuse me, not upgrade. It'll open up that bridge. Man, I cannot speak this morning. It's just going to open up that gate for us. My apologies, friends. My coffee hasn't kicked in just yet. Nope, not going to drop anything for us. We could go that way. However, there are some items over here, as you can see, for that body. We're just going to fall down and grab them. Unknown soldier soul. I don't think there's anything else over here for us. Let's hold that down. And keep going. Just gotta do a little bit of backtracking, which is okay, especially because all the enemies are dead. Look at these heroes. Okay. Left. I don't think there's anything down there for us. So we're gonna bypass that. We're gonna go back up these stairs, we'll loot this corpse, and then because we opened up that area, we're gonna head that way. Or not, because I'm a complete idiot and I fell off the edge. Oh, man, actually, never mind. Good thing I fell. There's another knapsack guy down here. I've come for your upgrades. The guys with the pickaxes, if you do like New Game Plus run through, or sometimes if you're playing on like pure Black World tendency, you'll have they're called Black Phantoms, even though they look like a red invading spirit. They're just they're red spirits of the normal enemies in this area, but they hit significantly harder. There's been times that I've played through and I fought a red spirit of one of the scale guys with a pickaxe, and he completely one-shot me. So I get really bad flashbacks whenever I see those guys. Let's just hit that. And we go through the next fog wall for the next area. Now for this area, we got to find a way to get that water to be redirected. But as you can see, there's going to be like some flame salamanders. If you walk too close to them, they actually will just fall off the wall, but you will take some damage. So I would recommend keeping some kind of ranged option that you can just throw and smack them. They'll fall down, kind of like the crystal lizard, and then once they are incapacitated, just when they fall because you hit them, go ahead and just do like a overhand slash, kind of like you did for the crystal lizard, and you'll take them out pretty easily. But they will do fire damage to you if you run into them, as well as obviously when they attack you, which can, especially if you're not wearing some like decent armor, that can do a decent amount of damage to you. Again, I've learned the hard way. This game is not really forgiving for new players. So, in here, there's an item over there. I can't remember exactly what the heck the item is, but we're gonna again use the throwing knives to knock down as many of these guys as possible. Just it's gonna be easier instead of getting it. Okay. I think I just fell into the lava. We're obviously not gonna go down that way, but. Shard of Dragonstone. Alright, that really wasn't worth it. Dragonstone actually will just upgrade your weapon to deal fire damage, but I believe it takes away the scaling from your weapon, so I've actually never used that. I don't ever like taking away... What the hell? Why don't I know? I don't like taking away any kind of scaling from my weapon and just doing like straight up elemental stuff. I don't think that's really viable. But there's 3 scale guys here with hot pokers. Because we're wearing the thief ring, they didn't just see us yet. But he will do fire damage to you, even if you have your shield up just a little bit. But let's see if we can pull them one at a time, just so that way we don't have to contend with all of them. Again, just by using like a throwing weapon. Or like a throwing consumable. This almost seems not fair. Now, we will be going left. That is the next area to progress forward in this zone, but keep going forward just because we're going to unlock a shortcut. Ooh. Let's keep killing these guys. Alright, and we're picking up a lot of upgrade materials. We may have to take off the thief ring pretty soon and then go ahead and equip that ring of Herculean strength, just because we have a lot Yeah, we have a lot of upgrade materials here that we've been picking up, and I'm afraid that pretty soon I'm going to be over encumbered. Obviously, it'll tell you like you cannot pick this up; it would overburden you. If we get that message, then I'll swap over to that weapon. But in the meantime, I guess we'll keep this on. Once you get down here, same thing. You'll just turn this lever. It's going to turn on this this elevator for us. And as soon as we see the next one going down... Oh, shoot! Well, clearly don't do what I just did and walk a little bit too far forward. But now that the elevator is on, it's not going to be that big of a problem, just because now we spawn at the bottom of the elevator. But again, we're going to take our armor off because that crystal lizard might have spawned again. Just kidding, it didn't spawn. But this lift will actually take you down to it'll take you down to another blacksmith. This blacksmith, if you can bring him demon souls, souls from bosses, he actually can upgrade weapons with the boss souls to create like the actual boss weapons. So we will be coming back to him at some point. Not right now. Obviously, we don't have enough boss souls or weapons on upgrade anymore. So we're gonna ride this down. Let me see if I can actually touch it and stay low. Nope, just kidding. We're gonna ride it down just so we can get this item right here, and then hopefully I won't die again by falling off like a complete idiot. So we did have a decent amount of souls. Okay. Let's see if I can time this. Oh, thank God. Alright, but this was the only other part I wanted to do here before we started moving forward towards that next area. And let's get off. Lift. Jeez. But like I said, that's one of the reasons that I definitely wanted to play in soul form, just in case stupid stuff like that happens. That happens to me quite regularly. I don't know why. My controller's pretty, I guess it's sensitive. I barely pushed forward, and then as you saw, I I kind of just ran off the edge instead of just doing like a slow walk. Alright. Well, I was hoping I wasn't gonna. When you come around this corner, just keep your shield up. As you saw, we almost got struck by a guy with a pickaxe who's just gonna take you by surprise. But once you get in here, there's gonna be a lot of the scale guys just working. And we're gonna keep walking through. I don't think anybody dropped really anything for us. That guy. There is a way to get that item. Those items over there, again, same thing, like you always see me taking off my stuff. We eventually will be going this way. There are explosive canisters here, so please do not strike them with a weapon. I don't know if they'll blow up, but I'm afraid that if you do that, it will. It will happen to you, and I haven't exactly had very good luck in this playthrough so far. But take your armor off, and then just run like hell, and you'll make it like I did. There you go. Great club. That's a strength weapon, and we just picked up 2 souls. But the only way to get back, you just need to fall down. It stinks, but we did take out the enemies in this area so far, so I'm not too worried. Again, just gotta do a little bit of backtracking. I swear the creators of this game, they just like playing tricks on you, or like really making you do all the extra stuff. Eventually we will be going this way, but we gotta turn the water into that area, so at least we don't don't jump into the lava and get cooked. like a really, really bad piece of bacon. You can go left. There's just a group of enemies that you're just going to end up taking head on, but we don't want to go that way just yet. Come up here. It's going to allow you to either to bypass the group of enemies, as well as to potentially get an item I think that you have to fall down on. It should be back here. Yep. So we'll fall down on this, and I think it's a shield. Nope, just kidding. It's an item. There it is, steel shield, so it's a tower shield, just in case you want to use that. But right now, there's a lot of these guys over here, so let's just go ahead and just see if we can, we'll do R2, single-handed R2 swings. I think it staggers, it'll stagger most of these enemies here. Jesus. Sorry, shouldn't have said that. Forget it. We're just gonna go crazy, just spamming R1. Oh wait. All right, cool. Oh, I didn't know that. Whatever. Looks like nobody dropped any of that stuff, like upgrades for us, but that's fine. Keep moving along. Getting pretty close. This part is a real pain in the butt. As you see, there's that item over there. In my first playthrough, I really didn't know what the hell these flame salamanders were capable of, and I would just run in, be like, "Ooh, item!" and I got overwhelmed because I think if you get too close, the flame salamanders will actually, all of them will drop down. But let's see. There you go. I forget how close you got to get. There you go. That got dropped down. There was a dog running around here. Let's pick up the item. Where's that? Oh, there's that damn dog. Shard Dragonstone. Where's it? I can't remember what half these loot items are. But alright, we took care of that dog. There's two more. Let's see if we can. Got one. Got the other. There you go. Is there anything else to go? There's an item over here. Let's get that. Ed's grindstone. That'll just repair the durability of the weapon that you have in your right hand. I don't think I can do it. We got plenty of that, which is good. There's more of the scale guys down here. That guy almost struck us. And there's a lever over there that we need to turn, and that will actually open up that area that was covered in lava for us, and that's actually going to open up the boss area. So we're basically just going to redirect the water. It'll stop that from turning, and then it'll open up the new area by dumping all that water in there. Alright. I think we could just hop down from here, but I think these guys dropped something for us, and there's some clear stone, sharp stone. We'll take that. Unknown hero soul. A lot of good items in this area. Let's fall down. And then once you fall down, you're basically just going to start backtracking just a little bit. Oop. And not this turn right here, but we're actually going to go this way. So you can fall down here, pick up the items. Ring of Poison Resistance, that's pretty good. For one of the zones we will visit shortly. Large Sharpstone Shard, that's good. Half Moon Grass, good. There's a crap ton of explosives down here, as you can see, but there will be one of those damn top hat generals. We're just going to keep our shield up and just let him keep shooting fire to blow up that stuff. We just got to be a little bit patient, because we don't want to get hit by any of this crap. Let's see if we can goad him into shooting. There we go. He's going to most likely shoot now. Alright, now let's move up. Now that those crates are blown up. Dodge. Dang it, I thought I dodged. I can't see the camera. Let's heal in the meantime. He's going to shoot that fire. Be careful. I hate those guys. I really hate those guys. Now, as soon as you come through here, strike that, whatever you want to call that, that wheelbarrow looking thing, and you'll pick up a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. Going through here, you'll see what type of boss we're going to fight just by the stuff you see on the ground. You see all the spider webs, so we are going to be fighting a spider boss. Be careful so you don't run too far ahead. There is one of the scale guys that throws a boulder like in the beginning. Just wait until he throws it. He'll drop down himself, and then you can keep going without taking any damage. Alright, and we are very close to the boss fight. But for right now, I don't think there's any enemies around here. Nope, I don't think there's any. We're going to go up here. I believe there's going to be a weapon up here that we're going to take first, and then we'll take that elevator down to the boss area. Crisp Blade. Alright, so it looks like it's a magic scaling weapon again. With E in dexterity, D in strength, and then it has a B for magic scaling. We don't actually have enough intelligence, which is the third stat needed from, well, it's the second from the right, but third from the left. So we can't use that effectively, but that's okay. I don't think I've ever really used that item in any of my playthroughs. If you would go, I think, yep, there's an item. So if you go behind the lever, you just go ahead and pick up Spider Stone. Spider Stone is actually used for bows and upgrading them, which I definitely would recommend if you're going to rock out like a longbow as your secondary. It's just going to improve the effectiveness of your bow, which is awesome. But take this elevator down, and once we get down, we're going to loot an item first before we go through to fight the boss. That is the boss fog right there. But if you go the opposite way on the tracks, there will be an item in the back. It should be more Spider Stone, I think. Chunk of Spider Stone, awesome. So I'll probably be using a bow because I think they're definitely effective in this game. Okay, now with this enemy, can I fast roll? I can't fast roll. I guess we are going to have to go as beefy as possible. There's going to be multiple types of attacks from this boss. He does, or she does, melee attacks just with her front two legs. There will be like a slam attack she does if you get too close, which leaves her vulnerable just to taking some more damage if you can avoid it. She also will spit spider webs, which is going to slow you down in terms of you can't roll. You can only walk forward. And then she also spits fire. So she'll do that. She'll spit the spider web at you. If she catches you, then she'll start spewing some fireballs at you. So it's really imperative that we dodge out of the way of the spider web attacks. And then she actually will do like almost an explosion attack, in which we're going to run all the way back to this fog here so we don't get hit. So let's do this. Let's run forward, see if we can not... That's the spider web. Let's see if we can go. Not doing that. Oh no! She usually will do it in succession of 3. And then hopefully if you get close enough. That's the melee attack. She just swipes with 2 hands. Or 2 hands. 2 of her little arms. That's the slam attack if you get hit by it. But she does leave herself open to taking some damage. She broke my guard. Back up and just heal, just to be safe. Oh, that's the explosion. So when you see that, run like hell. Just run to the back. There is no need to take that head on, and the fire will slowly come back to you this way. So as you saw, just keep your shield up just in case. I'd rather have you not get hit by that. Oh, she did hit us. She's gonna do that fire. Just keep your shield up. When in doubt, though, if you can, try to not always just keep your shield up when your stamina is low. Let your shield down, just so that way your stamina will regenerate, and that way you won't have your guard broken. Okay, it's just a good tactic to use moving forward, especially any of the other Dark Souls games if you play them. Ooh, I rolled that thing right there. Yep. So block it, and when you know you're free and you won't take damage, let your shield down so you'll regenerate your stamina much faster. Oh, Jesus, I knew I was going to get hit by that. She's going to do the explosion attack. Damn it. I'm cursing a lot in this episode. My apologies for any of you that's offended by that. We should be good. Let's run. Probably do the spider web attack. Yep. Oh, we got hit again. No, stop. Just gonna do that slam. I don't know why I rolled there. I got nervous. And then I don't know what you would call that, like that mouth or whatever it is, that thing right here in front, that's what you're going to target to attack. I can't believe I actually dodged that like that rolling. Just going to explode. Yep, time to run. Okay. But other than that, friends, this is it's a pretty easy tactics if you just follow like what I was explaining. Don't get over aggressive, and definitely let's see if we can do this. See if I can run up and dodge. There we go. So I definitely prefer to not, have as beefy of an armor, just because I like to roll out of the way. I just prefer to do that instead of just trying to block everything. I just think that's safer. But took down the armored spider, and that is actually, friends, that's where we're going to stop this episode. So we just went through Stonefang Tunnel. We just resurrected because we beat that boss, but there are a couple other items in here that I want to pick up before we head back to the Nexus, as well as we're going to make sure we get her boss soul. There's a crystal lizard off in the distance. I think I might kill that first before I head out, just because I'm going to be a greedy mofo. Chunk of spider stone. Let's do that. And let's not get that soul just yet. Let's see if I can walk this way. Oh. No! No! Oh snap. Alright, you know what, forget it. Nope, we're not gonna die. There's a crap ton of enemies down that tunnel, and they're gonna hit a lot harder in this zone, so let's not be greedy, and let's just get the heck out of here. Let's get that soul, and we're gonna call it a day. There you go. Hard Demon Soul, Pure Spider Stone, and friends, I will see you all in the next video. Again, my name is Chop Celery, and I appreciate y'all watching. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.